Exodus. Chapter 40. Moses sets up the tabernacle. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, On the first day of the first month you shall set up the tabernacle of meeting. You shall place the ark of the testimony in it, and cover the ark with the veil. You shall bring in the table and arrange its setting. You shall also bring in the lampstand and light its lamps, and set the gold altar of incense before the ark of the testimony, and put up the screen for the entrance of the tabernacle. Then you shall set the altar of burnt offering before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting. You shall also set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it. Finally, you shall set up the court all around and hang up the curtain at the gate of the court. And you shall take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and all that is in it, and you shall consecrate it and all its utensils, and it shall be holy. You shall also anoint the altar of burnt offering and all its utensils, and consecrate the altar, and the altar shall be most holy. You shall also anoint the basin and its base, and consecrate it. Then you shall bring Aaron and his sons to the door of the tent of meeting, and wash them with water. You shall put the holy garments on Aaron and anoint him, and consecrate him, so that he may minister to me as priest. You shall bring his sons and clothe them with tunics. You shall anoint them as you anointed their father, so that they may minister to me as priests. For their anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations. Thus Moses did, according to all that the Lord had commanded him, so he did. So, on the first day of the first month of the second year, the tabernacle was raised up. Moses set up the tabernacle, laid its bases, set up its boards, inserted its bars, and raised up its pillars. He spread the tent over the tabernacle and put the covering of the tent on top of it, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He took the testimony and put it into the ark, inserted the poles through the rings of the ark, and put the mercy seat on top of the ark. He brought the ark into the tabernacle, hung up the veil of the covering, and partitioned off the ark of the testimony, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He set the table in the tent of meeting, on the north side of the tabernacle, outside the veil, and he set the bread in order on it before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He put the lampstand in the tent of meeting, opposite the table, on the south side of the tabernacle, and lit the lamps before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He put the gold altar in the tent of meeting, in front of the veil, and burned sweet incense on it, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He hung up the screen at the door of the tabernacle. He set the altar of burnt offering at the entrance of the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, and offered upon it the burnt offering and the grain offering, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it for washing. Moses, Aaron, and his sons would wash their hands and their feet from it. Whenever they went into the tent of meeting, and whenever they came near the altar, they washed, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Finally, he set up the court all around the tabernacle and the altar, and hung up the screen of the gate of the court. So Moses finished the work. The cloud over the tabernacle. Then the cloud covered the tabernacle of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses was not able to enter the tabernacle of meeting because the cloud rested above it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tabernacle, the children of Israel would go onward in all their journeys. But if the cloud was not taken up, they did not journey until the day it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was above the tabernacle by day, and fire was over it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel, throughout all their journeys. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Give it a like, comment your thoughts, and share this video with your friends and family.